As you might know, I'm pretty late to the party, but some people said better late than never. I hope for this movie that's the case. Please don't hate me. Good morning, afternoon, evening everyone. Hi, my name is Myra and welcome back to my channel. It's pretty late at night, so I'm sorry if my voice sounds a little bit groggy. Apparently it happens a lot at night. Maybe because I talk too much. I don't know. But welcome back to my video. Thank you so much for waiting, I guess, because it's been a while since I upload any movie reviews, and I'm very sorry it doesn't really happen often for the last year or the last month of the year. So you get my point. I'm trying to make a joke about the end of the year, but it doesn't really work. I'm a bad person or a bad joker, either way. But I will still make a movie review about this because I wrote this last December, and I wrote the review last December, and I really want to share my views with you guys. So just here we go. And before we continue further, please don't forget to click that bell button besides my subscribe button so you will be notified if I upload something new. Now, obviously, Hercule Poirot or Hercule Poirot, either way, I will call him Poirot for now. Mostly because I don't know what else to say about that last name, and I'm afraid that if I say it in a different accent, it would just ruin everything. So I will call him Hercule Poirot. We all know Hercule Poirot is one of the most renowned fictional detectives in the world, much like Sherlock Holmes. But there are many stories developed for that particular detective. You know which one I'm talking about. And I haven't heard much about Hercule Poirot in the modern days. So I'm a wee bit excited when I heard this movie coming out. But how do I feel when I watch it? I'll let you know once I talk a bit about the storyline. I think it goes on pretty much the same with the book. Hercule Poirot was solving a case and he solved it brilliantly. Then he was supposed to go to another place, but his journey was sped up because of an urgent message, and he ended up with a faster time schedule since he did know the man responsible for the train. At first it was fine and dandy, but when someone is murdered, everyone became a suspect. You know what happened next? Hercule Poirot must solve the murder and know who the murderer is and why he or she does it. And that's pretty much how the story goes. My first reaction was how intriguing the Hercule Poirot character really is. I know that he'll be eccentric. Most fictional detectives are. They have their own quirks and their own way to solve the problem, but I am fascinated by how Hercule Poirot does it. He isn't a sociopath like Sherlock, but he is a loner. He did say that he enjoyed time the most when he was enjoying it alone. I am convinced that he is much more sociable than Sherlock would ever be, although his method compared to the British detective was quite different. His simplicity imbalance, but does not have that brain library or whatever. I'm sorry, I keep thinking about the modern Sherlock series, starring Benedict Cumberbatch. Sorry. But then I slowly moved to the storyline, and from that first line between Miss Mary Debenham and Dr. Arbuthnot, I know something was up. As in something big, not just a forbidden love story. I was on the edge at my seat at the beginning, but as the story progressed, I slowly scratched my head and kind of confused at how the story goes. Mostly because they have a lot of moving parts and it's a bit hard to follow. Or maybe the creators or Agatha Christie make it this way to confuse the readers or the viewers. And if that's the case, it's working. However, if this movie is exactly the same, just exactly the same as the book, then I think for the people who have read the book, there's not much surprise into it. Maybe some would happy to see how the movie turned out and whether or not it matches their imagination, and some might be disappointed because the storyline might be different than the book. And for those who haven't read the book, the movie itself can be quite confusing. So if you don't like detective movies or the movies that require a little bit of patience to understand, then I can see how they would think that this movie is a little bit monotone. Pretty much boring town from beginning to end. Which is what some the reviewers are saying about this movie. But I do have a favorite scene, which is where Hercule Poirot was getting to his train, and we get to see the continuous shot of practically every character involved in the movie. It was gorgeous, and I don't think you can get that by just reading in a book. However, from my point of view, Murder of the Orient Express kept my mind going and going. If I'm bored, it's because I think that the murders is not been caught yet, and the story just stretch. We get to learn about their history, their background, and that took a long time. From the first few persons that were interviewed, I could have guessed that everyone's past is interconnected, but I did think in the final that it would be the wife's fault alone. In my mind, she just gathered these people to watch what she will do to the murderer of the child, her and her alone, and show that they have nothing to be afraid to anymore, and they can just move on with their life if they keep their mouth shut. I never thought that they would actually taking turn of stabbing Johnny Depp, but I do like the conclusion, and I am glad that Hercule Poirot didn't die because he's a pretty unique character and really fun to watch. Now, moving on to the characters. My personal favorite is, of course, the lead, Hercule Poirot, played by Kenneth Branagh. Seen him in many movies before this, and I feel like his character is very poised yet amusing. I mean, just look at the mustache and how his quirkiness is having a balance everything. If he was here, he would be my very entertaining uncle who has a taste for perfection and, just never miss anything. Not even a sock from his laundry. I heard rumors that there will be a second movie, and I am looking forward to it. Another character that caught my eyes is actually the dead guy's assistant, Hector McQueen, played by Josh Gad. It's probably because I mostly see him in humorous setting, but when he cried, that got me. I didn't expect him to do that, and that just proves that he's a brilliant actor, and now I want to see him in a serious movie. Please comment below in which movie Josh Gad played a serious character. I want to watch it. That being said, all of the actors and actresses did a brilliant job, and each had their own persona, which is very different from one another. Would love to see the sequel. As always, the question would be, should you watch this movie? I'd recommend it, but I agree that this movie is a heavy one, full of information, and not for everyone to digest and understand. So if you don't like heavy kind of thinking movies, then just skip it. But if you do like it, then watch it. It's pretty entertaining. So, that is all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching and being patient and being awesome. I love you guys so much for it, and yeah, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and follow my Facebook and Instagram, mostly my Instagram because I update things there apparently. And yeah, thank you again so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.